Every summer I try to collect as much wood as possible for the winter months. Someone on Facebook Marketplace was giving away these logs from an apple tree they'd removed from their garden, so I went in the truck and picked them up and brought them home to fill the wood store. Some of the logs were small enough to cut up using the mitre saw, so I chopped these pieces up, filled the wheelbarrow and put them in the log store. We've got outbuildings in our house and we use this bottom one, which I believe was originally a coal store, to store our logs in. I added a piece of old worktop that I took out of our kitchen to put logs on top of, and we store stuff like kindling and other random bits of wood below. For the bigger logs I had to use the chainsaw. I made up a stand to hold the logs by attaching two scaffolding boards to the side of this old bench. This is to hold the logs in place while cutting them. This was a brand new chainsaw. I think it had only been used once before this. It was a cheap one from Amazon, but I watched a few videos on it and it seemed pretty decent. And so far, with its limited usage, I've been impressed. I didn't quite realise how smoky it was getting in the workshop. When you're concentrating on something, you don't really notice the surroundings as much, and then it was only when I stopped that I noticed. Obviously cutting these outside would have been much better, but I didn't have anywhere to cut them without messing up the garden, so I whacked a mask on and cracked on. You'll see in the next shot from the trees and the cloud movement, it was fairly windy, so I thought that would have ventilated the workshop pretty well, but obviously not. I got all these logs loaded in the wood store. You'll also see on the left hand side a second wood store that I built to allow us to store more wood than just a small one. I tested the cut logs to check for moisture, and I was happy to see how low the percentage of water was. Most of them were actually ready to burn. You can see I nearly filled this wood store, and I put the smaller stuff into the second wood store. I kept collecting wood over the rest of the summer to fill both of them to the top.